Hey, thanks for checking out Fast Eddie's Chop Shop. Here you have every right to be wrong, and I'm going to break it down for you. I just went to the mall, picked up my my Apple Watch Ultra. As much as I hate Apple, I love their product. And first thing I saw standing in line was a mother who had a little boy who had double earrings in, wearing some girly stuff. And my heart goes out to abused children. I think back in the day, society acted like they cared about children and wanted to do harm to their abusers. In today's world, we praise the abuser. So I picked up my watch and went by Victoria's Secret, where there was a model in the window, some sort of fat acceptance thing, belly hanging all out and all over, appreciating a woman's fatness. You know, wasn't that long ago where society deemed that to be a bad thing, not because we hated the person, but because we hated what that meant, because that means loss of life. That means dying early. That means not a life well lived. It means so many things, you know, and now we celebrate it, just like we celebrate the abusers. Then I went about another 100 yards, stepped outside of the mall, and there was a couple of very, 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 very young, they weren't even ladies yet, they were little girls, kissing and holding hands. And many, many years ago, society would have went, not from a religious perspective. I'm not here to say that there were actually even more quote-unquote Christians in the world than there are today. But the ideology of, you know, Judeo-Christian values were there. Why? Because it held society together. You know, I heard something about marriage and I never thought of it this way. Why is the government involved at all with marriage? Because marriage propagates society. It means that we're kind of fulfilling the, you know, go forth and populate the earth. Because a society with healthy marriages, healthy families, healthy people, acting in ways that they were intended to act, and a society that abused and accused the abusers of the world, where people who meant harm to children got beaten down. Well, that's a good society. Very good place to be. Today's world, folks, in a matter of 10 minutes, I saw 3 separate events that tells me that America is done. There, you know, I've held out to hope, but there isn't. America is done. We are heading down the path of, it's funny, these fascists call folks like me fascist. It's hilarious. But we're heading down the road of Germany and Nazi and Russia, and millions of people being starved to death and millions of people being marched to their death. I'm not kidding. That's where we're headed. And I pray that whoever, if it's you watching this, that you're not one of the ones that will be smiling as they turn on the gas, thinking that you're doing the world a favor by getting rid of, quote unquote, the wicked of the world. You know, you have to brace yourself. I agree with Jordan Peterson. You need to prepare and brace yourself for these events now. It's gonna happen. I'm convinced it's gonna happen in my lifetime. And I pray it doesn't. I pray I'm dead wrong. I feel sorry for my sons who are still early 20s and mid 20s. I feel absolutely intense fear for my grandson, who's 9 years old, because I don't see how this gets better. You know, it can get better after the fourth turning, after the current generation that is destroying the world. But then again, I was talking to my wife about it the other day. I blame my generation because we're allowing it to happen. Are you 45 and up? You've allowed this to happen. I've allowed this to happen. You know, these young people walking around that are, you know, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25-ish, that are the world destroyers right now. You and I created them. We allowed them to happen. We didn't bend them over the knee enough. We didn't stop them from going outside the way they were dressed enough. We didn't put our foot down enough. And what we have now is a narcissistic, evil generation. And we are going to rue the day that we didn't do what we were supposed to do. See, we tried too hard to be our kids' friends. And we're reaping the results of that. So, anyway, a little bit of a disheartening message. I try and be, think positive. But, again, those three things, bam, 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 rapid succession, seeing this stuff more and more often, I don't see how this ends well. I don't see how it ends well. I just don't see it. What do you think? Let me know.